So, what was your lightning in a bottle moment? What was your lightning in a bottle comic book? It's just for me. I knew what that was straight away when you said that.
Yeah, what was your one?
For me, it was the death of Superman. That was my moment. That was my comic book that I read. It was different.
Yeah,
It
John
was,
Byrne in the 80s.
Yes.
Historic because the way it was structured, like the longer it went, the fewer and fewer panels it was.
Mm-hmm.
But you never noticed. That's just how well
Yes.
written and how well illustrated it was. Just to see, like, the story flowing over double page spreads, but it's all one piece of artwork. And again, that's just the quality of like the speech bubbles making your eyes follow across the page and across
Yeah,
the story. But it just being this like one flowing movement until eventually it ends with the cape torn up on that spike. Beautiful storytelling. I can definitely agree.
It's one of them comic books that I'm like, why have they not made that into a film yet? And you've tried to rip bits off, didn't they, in Batman versus Superman? But they didn't even
I
begin
think they
to
know
touch on it.
better. I think it's still too
Do you think
perfect.
that's what it is?
I personally, I think so as well. That's why the animations are still quite strong because they've done animations for stuff like Dark Knight Returns, and that was perfect. They did animations for Killer
I
Joke.
noticed this that the animation for DC is so much stronger than the films.
It's because they keep that all in house. They keep that where they can consult the original writers and artists as
Consultants,
they're literally on the other end of the phone, especially with the Dark Knight Returns stuff.
Whereas DC is such a separate entity.
Yeah.
I wonder with future DC, as we're moving into this James Gunn era, I wonder if that's going to be any different.
I can trust James Gunn to handle ensemble stories. I can trust James Gunn to handle...
Yeah, because clearly
stories.
we've seen that with his work with Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, and with the new Suicide Squad with
Yes,
with Idris Elba's Bloodsport, that was done very well. It's because they were able to keep the tone right. That's a whole other conversation, but I could definitely get into it on that. But yeah, as long as they draw more influences from like the actual set in stone great comic book stories, they really can't go wrong. But then again, we've seen that done so well with a lot of the original Zack Snyder stuff. Not necessarily his hardline DC stuff, but stuff like Watchmen 300. That was beat for beat perfect. So to be able to respect what came before, but still put their own spin on it, that could be pretty nice. As long as it's a personal gripe for me that they need to keep the casting consistent.
Yes.
Like Ben Affleck did a fantastic job in the performance, but him being haggard is not correct. A lot